Data collection method 3 continued. I use the NWEA test scores for English language arts subject in order to pair students who scored lower with those that were exceeding the benchmark. So I assigned students 6 different guided reading groups, met with 2 to 3 different groups of class. Each group was assigned a color and met with me for literacy stations. So I recorded the progress based on the NWEA test scores to track their abilities toward comprehension and enrichment through these exercises. Step 3 and 4, statistical data explained in the legend for the pie chart. So the bar graph students, it tracks the student's success in reading comprehension for 3 different testing dates. Red is highly proficient, blue is emerging reader, and yellow is grade level reader. So I will attach these slides so you can see that data as well. But I'll take 10 seconds for you to view it here. Nice. Step 5. According to my chart, all 3 students saw growth in the NWEA test scores after participating in guided reading groups despite all the students being at different levels in reading comprehension. 100% of my students from my targeted 3 groups achieved rising NWEA test scores. So 100% of my students achieved rising NWEA test scores. Sorry for that mumble jumbo, but I do not wish to re-record any of this. Step 6, triangulation. Based on the state of Oregon's literacy standards, Method 2 and Method 1, my students that traditionally utilize more reading support standards often struggled with comprehension, taking notes, and annotating and looking up words. Students meeting or exceeding benchmark traditionally exemplified skills following along, reading comprehension, annotation, using context clues and phrasing questions. While with this acquired information, my research, I paired guided reading with differentiated methods for graphic organizers. I chunked exercises using 4-square vocabulary and used jigsaw pair and share reading within my reading group stations in order to teach and strengthen guided reading for students at all levels. So overall conclusion to my research. By the end of these guided reading group stations, my students were able to improve comprehension, paraphrasing skills. Students were also able to focus on the key ideas within the short story text, language, identifying main characters, setting plots, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. Guided reading exercises helped my students develop with deciphering new complex vocabulary by teaching them how to utilize context clues through annotation and the jigsaw literacy acquisition strategies. These methods help students explore the conventions of vocabulary by exposing them to how the word is featured within the context by observing the sentence separately from the paragraph and chunking the sentence structure into all the functioning pieces. Ultimately, the objective of these guided reading lessons and research was to portray how guided reading groups positively impact my students' abilities to comprehend, annotate, paraphrase, and select different short stories. The impact of this research was measured from pre-post test assessments, interviews, and surveys. Thank you very much for bearing with me through this process. Good luck to each and every one of you.